Hello everyone. Today we will look at the question of what is karma. Karma is the principle of cause and effect connection between intentions, actions and their consequence. Simply put, how and why you act shapes what you experience next. Any important nuance people often confuse. Karma is not punishment and not a reward. It is a learning mechanism. Not the universe is punishing you, but you receive an experience that corresponds to your choices and inner state. What karma is made of? In the classical understanding in Indian psychology, Buddhism, intention. Why are you doing it? Fear, greed, love, awareness. Action, words, deeds, even inaction. Consequence, not always immediate and not always obvious. Intention matters more than the action itself. Karma is not a fate. This is crucial. Fate is fixed. You can change anything. Karma is dynamic. You change it every moment. Even if something difficult is already happening, your response to it creates new karma. Why bad people get lucky? A common question. Possible explanations. We see a short fragment, not the whole chain of consequences. Some consequences may be internal, emptiness, anxiety, fear. There is collective and accumulated karma, not only immediate karma. Does karma from past lives exist? It depends on your worldview. Religions. Philosophical view. Yes, experience carries over. Psychological view. There are ancestral patterns, trauma, habits of thinking. Practical view. It's not so important where it comes from. What matters is what you do with it now. How to cleanse or change karma. Not through rituals but through actions. Become aware of your motives. Take responsibility instead of looking for someone to blame. Don't automatically repeat old reactions. Act from clarity, not from fear or anger. Learn from consequences instead of running away from them. A very short formula. Karma is not what happens to you. Karma is who you become in response to what happens. Karma and from a psychological perspective. In a psychological sense, karma is a system of inner cause and effect connections formed by beliefs, emotional reactions, thinking habits, automatic behavior patterns. We don't so much receive events as we constantly reproduce familiar patterns. How a karmic cycle is formed. A typical psychological chain. Inner belief, I am not valued. The world is dangerous. To be loved, I have to endure. Emotional reaction, fear, resentment, anger, shame, behavior, avoidance, aggression, self-sacrifice, control. Result, situation that confirms the original belief. The cycle closes, and the person says, this is my karma. Why situations repeat? From psychology. The brain likes predictability, even if it's painful. Familiar pain can feel safer than the unknown. We unconsciously choose people and decisions that confirm our inner worldview. So you get similar relationships with the same conflicts, recurring problems with money or self-esteem. Karmic people, who they really are. It's not mysticism, it's triggers. Such people activate old traumas, switch on automatic reactions, make you act on autopilot. Their role is to show you where you're still not conscious aware. Karma, this is automatism. From a psychological point of view, karma is not punishment. Karma is unconscious automatism. As long as you react the same way, think in the same patterns, choose from fear rather than from choice, the result will be the same. How karma changes psychologically. Karma changes in the pause between stimulus and reaction. Case skills: noticing your triggers, naming emotions, asking, is this an old reaction or my real choice? Allowing yourself new behavior, even if it's uncomfortable. One new choice. This is a new chain of consequences. A very important thing: psychology doesn't deny karma. It explains the mechanism of how it works. Short summary: karma is not fate, it's a habit of the psyche. Repetition is a signal, not a sentence. Awareness is the exit from karma. Freedom begins not with events, but with reactions. Karma is the logic of repetition. Karma answers the question, why is this happening to me again? In a psychological sense, karma is not a mystical debt, but an unfinished inner experience. When certain situation repeats similar relationship, the same conflicts, it means the reaction has become automatic. The lesson hasn't been integrated. Awareness hasn't happened yet. Karma is the memory of the psyche. It doesn't punish, it reminds. As long as a person reacts the same way, life repeats the question. The danger of karmic thinking appears when it becomes an excuse. Things just turn it out this way. It's my karma. I can't change anything. Meta karma is different. If this is repeating, it means there's a point of growth here. The law of attraction. The law of attraction answers the question, why do I keep encountering this? It's often presented as thought magic, but psychologically it's the work of attention and expectation. A person doesn't literally attract events. They notice what matches their inner state. Unconsciously choose what is familiar, behave in ways that get a predictable response. If there is anxiety inside choices will be cautions. If there is scarcity, choices will come from at least something. If there is self-worth, decisions become different. The toxic version of the law of attraction sounds like, if something bad is happening to me, it means I'm thinking wrong. The healthy version: my state affects my reactions. My state can be changed without self-blame. Responsibility, the logic of action. Responsibility answers the question, what am I doing with this now? It's the least spiritual but the only truly liberating concept. Responsibility does not mean that you're guilty of everything, that you must endure everything, that there is something wrong with you. It means I acknowledge reality, I acknowledge my influence, I choose action even if I am afraid. This is where boundaries, decisions, new behavior, different results appear. Without responsibility, karma becomes a verdict, and the law of attraction becomes an illusion of control. How they connect in real life. A healthy chain looks like this. First, you notice repetition. Then you look at your inner state that supports this scenario, attraction. And finally, you take a new concrete step, responsibility. Even a small new action, saying no, not making an excuse, not rescuing, not enduring in silence, breaks the old cycle. The key difference, very important. Karma and the law of attraction explain responsibility changes. Without awareness, responsibility turns into violence against yourself. Without responsibility, awareness becomes a beautiful theory, meaning karma says, look where you're still not free. The law of attraction says, look from what state you're living. Responsibility says, do it differently. And that's where life stops happening and starts being lived. Ancestral karma, psychological view. Ancestral karma is a topic with a lot of mysticism, but If you explain it psychologically and soberly, it becomes very practical and even liberating. What ancestral karma is in the simple words? Ancestral karma is inherited life script passed no, on not mystically but through patterning style, prohibition and permission, ways of coping with pain, unspoken family rules. You're not born as a blank page, but into a system that already has its own logic of survival. How it's really transmitted. Transmission happens through three main channels. Through behavior. A child doesn't listen to what they told, they copy how people live. Endurance becomes normal, silence becomes a strategy, self-sacrifice becomes love. Through emotional prohibitions, every family has unspoken rules like don't stand out, we don't talk about that, men don't cry, and women must endure. What cannot be lived through gets passed on as tension through trauma, wars, famine, repression, violence, loss. If it wasn't processed and mourned, the psyche passes it to the next generation in the form of anxiety without a reason, fear of loss, hyper control, constant survival instead of living. How ancestral karma looks in real life. Typical manifestation. In our family, all women are unhappy in relationships. Men either disappear or break down. Money comes and immediately goes. Success is dangerous, love is pain. This is not course. There are old ways of adaptation that once have helped people survive, but now get in the way. An important shift in thinking. Ancestral karma does not mean that you must pay off something for someone, that you are guilty of your ancestor fates, that you are doomed. Ancestral karma means you inherited the task of becoming aware. You are the first who can stop the automatism. You are not obligated to repeat patterns in order to belong. Why you are the one who sees it. Often the person who becomes aware of ancestral karma is someone who is more sensitive, reflects more, can't just enter, feels like they're not living their own life. This is not a weakness. It's an evolutionary point for the family line. How ancestral karma completes? Through inner action, naming the truth, allowing yourself a different choice, living through what was previously forbidden, stopping loyalty to pain instead of loyalty to life, choosing yourself without betraying others. When one person changes the script, the chain is interrupted. A very important boundary. You can respect your ancestors, feel compassion for their fates, acknowledge their pain, and at the same time not repeat their path, not live their fear, not pay with your life for their experience. That is meta stance. Key. Ancestral karma is not something you must carry. It's something you can complete by living differently. Karma is a universal principle of cause and effect. Every action, thought, or intention leaves a trace that shapes future experience. In the traditions of Hinduism and Buddhism, it is believed that the soul goes through a chain of rebirth. The experience of past incarnations influence the condition of the present life. Current circumstances are not punishment but a result and a lesson. How karma from past lives can show up now. Karma doesn't work literally, but as a tendency. Repeating scripts, the same types of relationships, conflicts, fears, innate inclinations, talents, calling, or internal blocks without an obvious reason, deep fears or pull, phobias, strong attraction to certain cultures, places, karmic connection with people, the feeling that you know each other for a long time. Important nuance. Karma, this is not fatalism. The key idea, karma does not doom you, does not punish, offers a lessons. How you respond today matters more than what was once. It is today's decisions that shape future karma. How karma is cleansed or transformed. Different schools recommend awareness, noticing your repeating patterns, responsibility, stopping blaming others or past lives, ethical actions, compassion, honestly, non-violence practices, meditation, prayer, service, therapy, acceptance, experience as a tool for growth, not guilt. A modern view. Even without beliefs in reincarnation, karma from past lives can be understood as family line memory, subconscious patterns, psychological scripts that are transmitted and reinforced. The language changed. The principle of responsibility for one's action remains. Thank you all and goodbye.